Evening, everyone. Notice is hereby given that the regular council meeting will be held by the governing body of the city of Bertram on this 28th day of July, 2026, 6 p.m. in these council chambers, and I call this meeting to order. Roll call.
Councilmember Fisher.
Present.
Councilmember Predmore.
Present.
Mayor Valadez.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem DeFrancis.
Here.
Councilmember Global.
Here.
Mayor, you have quorum.
Thank you. Anthony, you want to give the invocation, please?
Sure. Everyone, please rise.
Father in heaven, thank you for the opportunity for this gathering. Please let the people sitting up front here make the best decisions that we can for the citizens of Bertram and the surrounding area. Look down upon all of us and the people present and bless them on their rides home and wherever they may be. Keep our first responders and their families in your prayers, and anyone that is asked for your special help in any personal relations, please give them your best also. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, time is 6:01, and Councilmember Wilson has just joined us. Thanks for joining us. 1.1, consent agenda items, July 14, 2026, regular meeting minutes.
I make a motion, we approve the meeting minutes of July 14th.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Betty, a second by Randall. All those in favor? Action items, 2.1, discuss and consider TXCR interlocal cooperation contract for court final convictions reporting to Texas Department of Public Safety.
Court reporting for the final conviction report for the court that we have to file monthly is going electronic. So they're no longer taking paper copies. This will get us access to the system in which to get it filed electronically.
So this won't take effect till January, is what, like it said?
I think Connie's already doing something electronically with DPS, but this will just get us into their new system. So we report monthly, so.
So that was
Okay.
my question. This isn't a staffing, this won't cause a staffing problem?
No.
Okay.
All right, I make a motion to accept the TXCR final convictions reporting.
Second?
We have a motion by Anthony, a second by Betty. All those in favor? 2.2, discuss and consider resolution number 616-072826, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Bertram, Texas, designating an official newspaper for the City of Bertram. So you want to explain what happened there?
Yeah, Citizens Gazette is no longer, has been our official record, paper of record for some years now. They were great. They were easy to work with, but they're no longer publishing a paper. Effective, I believe, July 1st, or August 1st was going to be their last issue was last
July
week.
31st, yeah.
Yeah. I went out, asked Burnett County, Burnett Bulletin.
Bulletin.
Burnett Bulletin for information, the Highlander for information that I knew of publication-wise, for quotes to make sure that they were the paper of record, or could be a paper record, and they do. They gave me their information. It was in your packet as well. I recommend that we use the Burnett Bulletin moving forward as our official paper of record.
Yeah. That's the one that gets delivered around town the most and everything. Makes sense.
Well, I make a motion, we accept the Burnett Bulletin as the city newspaper.
Second?
We have a motion by Anthony, a second by Betty. All those in favor? 2.3, discuss and consider ordinance 215-072826, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Bertram, Texas, amending the Code of Ordinances by amending portions of Chapter 3, Article 3.05, signs 3.05006, and 3.05007, amending the definitions of certain types of signs, providing of the repeal of any conflicting fees in the code of ordinance and providing an effective date. Now, this is something that I had Ted working on. We're trying to make all our ordinances make more sense. I believe we've had a lot of community input on this. Does anyone want to speak on that before? Or have any comment? Sure. Just say your name and kind of where you're from.
I don't think it's on. Yeah.
Battery?
Okay, I'm Sherry. This is Cheryl, my daughter. We're the owners of Texas Exits Wine. And first off, I want to tell you a really interesting fact. You may know, you may not know. When we first started building our building, we were looking into getting some type of visibility sign up on 29 to let people know that you do have a nice winery here. So we found out that we had to contact the TxDOT, the Texas Department of Transportation. They're the ones that take care of any of the signage on 29. So what they did is they came out and they did a survey of 29, like when you first come into town until you actually exit town. And they took 2 days to do this, which was really surprising. And then they got back with me and said, they went over the fees, and the fees are based on the actual amount of cars that go down our area on 29. People a day coming in our town, going into businesses, renting hotel rooms, eating at restaurants, shopping at the little stores here, going to the clothing shops, the coffee shops, the nail salons. So the problem that we're seeing is visibility. Where we are, you know where we are. We're actually like a block off of 29, but no one can see us. So we started out putting an open sign in our yard and also the ribbon sign, and we were told we can't do that. So when we have those out, our customer base actually increases quite a bit.
Because those are visible from 29.
Out after 5 o'clock, and then on the weekends.
When the code enforcer's not working, we put it out. I'm sorry, that's what we do.
Sorry, we're breaking the law.
It's okay.
But,
Not here.
He's out here, we won't tell
He's
it.
not there on
But he will
As
be
soon as-
tomorrow.
when,
looking back at our books, like when we put the flag out at 5 o'clock, we get instant people in.
and people will come.
And what they say is, we didn't even know y'all were open.
We saw your
Saw
flag.
sign.
And even people that live here, we've had several that come in and say, we didn't even know you were open, but we saw your open sign. So just those two little signs helped us immensely. And this helps the town because the more we make or other businesses make, this is going to give revenue to the town. And we hope to give a lot of revenue, tax revenue to the town. So you can do the things you want to do, more roads, more, whatever you want to do with it. We want to be able to do that for the town. So anyway, this is why we're all for visibility. Not just our business, but anybody that it's hard to know what's off 29 unless you have some way of knowing. And we try to direct people to as many businesses as we can. We have lots of people coming in, even from out of state, and they'll say, where's a good place to eat? Or
What's there to do around here?
mainly is what's to do around here. That's the big one.
And we've made a list of everybody in town. We send them every time they come in. And they go.
Yeah,
They told
they
you.
rent places. We had, I can't remember the name of the lady that has the container that she does. Jo is her first name. She has a container bed and breakfast outside of town. We sent people there, and they
So-
stayed a couple of days.
We talked about ribbon signs, like the sandwich board type, that kind of stuff. These are considered temporary banners. What you're telling me is it would benefit to have those available whenever you wanted.
Yeah, if we could just put them out as soon as we
And
get there.
as the ordinance currently is, it's not allowed, or you have to pay a permit every, 30 days, I believe, so something like
Yeah.
that. Real quick show of hands, how many of you does this affect here in town? So as you can see, quite a few. So this was brought up to change. Our attorney had some questions about it before we could vote on it. That's what I mentioned before. So we will not be voting on this today, but I wanted any input from you guys,
Yeah.
so we can use that.
And we encourage no fee. You can, that would really be beneficial. It would, because you
How
know.
are we
it's-
going to pay the code enforcement officer?
He can enforce
just
other
kidding.
codes,
Yeah,
just not this code.
we'll give him a glass of wine. 5 o'clock Friday night.
Well, thank you. Anybody else have anything to add
Thank
to
you
that?
all.
Thank you.
My name is Penny McHenry. I'm with Pennies on the Dollar down at the end of the road. Actually, when I first opened my store, I was down over by Andis. I was told to go to the code enforcement officer, which was the police station. I specifically asked a lot of questions because everything was kind of an up-in-the-air type situation. I did buy a blow-up, spent several thousands of dollars for this blow-up, and it works. I mean, I have people every day come in and say, and I'm on 29 now, today. So the blow-up works. It's not out all 24 hours, 7 days a week. It is only there when I'm open. And no one's ever given me a hard time until now. I had flags out and never had, the police station's the one that told me where to put them and all that kind of stuff, so I did. And some guy came by before I moved to the new location and talked to my husband, didn't speak to me, told him that the flags couldn't be out. He said, okay. He said, but you need to come back and talk to the owner. You need to talk to her and let her know what the laws are and what you're wanting to do. No problem. I've never seen the man until he walked into my store several weeks ago, very sternly in front of several customers, being very disrespectful to me about flags being out. Fortunately, they weren't my flags. It was my property. I am renting it. So I understood why he came in. I didn't appreciate the way he came in. You don't come at me. You don't talk to me disrespectfly. You talk to me like a human
Was this the
being.
code enforcement officer?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
assuming. Did you file a complaint with the city?
I have talked to Georgina several times.
Okay.
About him.
I'm trying to get input
So,
on the signage.
Okay, hold on. So that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of going off just a little because I want you to know the problem I have is not, the flags work, the blow-up works. I think working with people in town are the better way to go. I do take pictures of other flags because I'm getting harassed. I'm not going to have somebody take pictures of me outside my job. I'm not going to, I had to call the police department on him because he frightened me. He frightened that little boy right there because he standing across the street taking pictures with his cell phone. I think that is so wrong. So with that being said, though, I understand right's right and wrong's wrong. I think that if you have a problem with me, I think I should be the one you should talk to. I think it's very disrespectful to be ugly about it. I think it's disrespectful to go over my head and go to the landlord and try to get me in trouble instead of speaking directly to me. Come to find out, it wasn't even me that they were having the issue with. It was somebody that was using part of the property, which is fine. We've got it all straightened out. I just think that he needs to back up a little bit and talk to people a little bit differently. Now, with that being said, the signs, yes, we need some kind of signs out. I don't have a problem with not using the feather flags right up against 29. I understand what they're talking about.
Yeah, it should be
It is-
25 feet.
Yeah, it is, because if you're driving down the road and you see something, it can be kind of distracting if you're driving, so I get that. But I think diplomatically, this should be handled differently.
I think we're kind of doing that right now, so
Well,
that's why.
not from me, not from my point of view,
Everyone's here.
because I've got 3 pages of,
Okay, well,
oh my
file a
gosh.
formal complaint, and
I will.
we'll deal with that
And I've actually
separately.
called and asked for you to call me several times, and I have not gotten anything
Well,
response.
I'm
either.
talking to
So,
you right now, so.
Penny, are you still utilizing your blow-up every day?
Yes, I am.
Well,
Even
y'all
though- I
gotta
don't have a
understand,
choice.
what
That's
y'all
the
gotta
only sign I
understand
have.
is there's
Okay.
a code.
Yeah,
Now,
but
Betty.
there's a code.
There's a code right now.
understand
Ted is enforcing the code. These were his changes that he brought to us after speaking with you guys, trying to make it better for everybody. So that's what we're trying to do. So
And I get
that's what
that.
this is about.
I do, I
So
understand.
I appreciate your input.
But
Is there,
I think that we do need to have some kind of help and respect for 29 on getting some of these signs put up and helped. But it's hard when the right hand tells the left hand. And
well,
then you're- you know what I'm saying?
once again, that's what we're trying to do here. But thank you for your input. Anyone else? All right. Like I said, the attorney has some questions about this, so we're going to table this for today. But I wanted y'all to share your input, so we had a better understanding of how you feel. And when we do speak to the attorney, we can raise your concerns to him as well. So thank y'all.
John, the attorney's questions weren't really on, it was just on the verbiage, the way that it wanted to
Correct.
be written, to make sure he was implying it the way it was intended to be implied. And he can work that out with Ted once he gets back from vacation.
Okay. Thank you.
Do we need a motion to table it? No.
I make a motion, we table
2.3.
2.3 until our next meeting.
I second it.
Motion by Betty, second by Andis. All those in favor? That is tabled. 2.4, discuss and consider nomination to fill a TML Intergovernmental Risk Pool Board of Trustee position. Do we have any volunteers, first of all?
Official
I know.
or an employee of the city, I do not volunteer.
Can you describe it a little more? So that-
Well, it was in your packet, Betty.
Yeah, I know.
Essentially, you know as much as I do, according to this letter. They meet, I believe, quarterly, and its locations to be determined if you're on this board. I think they normally meet in Austin, to be honest with you. Essentially, they handle our insurance, our risk pool, and decide on the spendings of the risk pool, I guess, investments and all that good stuff. TML.
Would anyone like to volunteer for that?
So the city of Bertram is a member of the Texas Municipal League Risk Pool. They, if somebody files a complaint with the city or tries to sue the city, these are the attorneys that will defend the city on our behalf.
And any, like, insurance issues?
Insurance issues, fraud issues.
So it's an informational board where they get together with what happened and ideas and so forth.
And obviously, they have employees underneath the risk pool, you know, all of the attorneys and all of the, you know, people who handle payroll and everything else for the risk pool. It's not just us as cities, it's most municipalities who are insured They're an insurance for municipalities, essentially. But does it work as insurance? This is really just, they hold money for the pool. It's just a pool of money that they get to manage.
And this is a nomination for the elected board member.
Yeah, a placement on the board, on the executive level.
So we'd be making a recommendation, there would be a vote.
If somebody wanted
There
to.
would be a vote later on who actually gets the.
Yeah. Just a nomination at this point so they can get criteria together and bios issued, and then there will be another where we get to vote, or y'all will get to vote on the nominees. Anything else?
Nobody's jumping.
I'll volunteer.
You
I'll
want to
throw my
volunteer?
name in, sure.
We got a volunteer, Anthony DeFrancis. Thank you.
Going to be a motion.
I make a motion that Anthony volunteers.
I'll second.
We got a motion by Betty, a second by Randall. All those in
Wait,
favor?
I'm sorry. Am I allowed to have a second or somebody to help me there, Betty? No? All right.
Motion by Betty, second by Randall. All those in favor? Looks like you're the new nominee.
Did you?
No.
Okay. You voted too, right?
Sure.
2.5, discuss and consider ordinance number 17072826, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Bertram, Texas, acknowledging the appointment of Habib H. Erkin Jr. as municipal judge, setting compensation, providing a severability clause, and providing an effective date.
He is not here
He
yet,
hadn't showed up.
John.
He had
We
a
could hold
meeting
on.
in Burnett at 5. Let's go ahead and
Move that one
we'll
down.
hold on, because he may show up. We'll come back to it. 2.6, discuss and consider ordinance number 283072826, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Bertram amending the Code of Ordinance by amending Chapter 12, Traffic and Vehicles by adding Articles 12.005, Unique Vehicles, authorizing use of certain vehicles on public roadways inside the incorporated city limits, providing a penalty, providing a publication, providing for the repeal of any conflicting provisions in the Code of Ordinance, and providing an effective date. So this is, we have had an influx of calls on golf carts, UTVs, driving city streets. There are exceptions that the state of Texas allows for these vehicles to be on public roads. There's just been a lot of confusion on both sides of what that meant. I sent an email to Burnett County, asked if they had stricter laws in the state of Texas, with their exemptions, and the reply I got was they are not allowed on public streets. Well, that wasn't correct, because they are with those exemptions. For example, I got a ranch about 9 miles from here. I use mine for agricultural use. Per the DMV, I could drive that 9 miles from there to the feed store and get feed and back to my place, as long as it's 25 miles from where it's kept. That's an exemption. So I'm just throwing that out there. So to clean this up, first of all, does anybody got any input on this? You guys live here. I'd like to hear what you have to say if you have anything. You got something? You don't have to say anything. So, council, you have an ordinance that our great attorney provided for us. So basically what we did was we used the state's recommendations. The state has a stipulation that says municipalities can authorize these unique vehicles on city streets as long as they stay in the municipal area. So that's what I'm looking at doing. The only thing I had different, so when you're talking about unique vehicles, you're talking about golf carts, you're talking about NEVs, which I'd never heard of until I started looking into this. These are neighborhood electric vehicles. They look like a golf cart, but they're like space-age golf cart. And off-highway vehicles. So off-highway vehicles include ATVs, recreational off-highway vehicles, utility vehicles, and sandrails. We don't really want sandrails driving around the streets of Bertram, and I'd beg to say we don't want ATVs, four-wheelers burning up the streets of Bertram. So the only thing that I had different that Mike put is if you go to 12.05002, unique vehicle registrations, where it says the city hereby allows the operation of unique vehicles on public roadways, I would add to that, the city hereby allows the operation of unique vehicles to include golf carts and NEVs and the off-highway vehicles, ROVs and UTVs. So that's basically excluding sandrails and ATVs. And of course, dirt bikes aren't allowed either. Y'all have anything to say about that?
About these e-bikes.
E-bikes is a total different thing. They're not considered off-highway. So the thing with those e-bikes that you see all over town nowadays, if they have pedals, they're a bicycle. If they do not have pedals, they're a motorcycle. So there's already a law and ordinance for that.
We have stuff posted on our website about e-bikes and e-scooters and all that,
Okay.
the regulations and the state rules.
It's one of those things, small town, that's getting bigger. I used to do a lot of things around here that no one batted an eye at. Now we get the police called on us every 5 minutes for doing those same things. So this will clear that up for within the city limits. This ordinance will allow that use within the city of Bertram.
The ordinance states, it kind of goes through, you have to be a licensed driver, so you're gonna have to be 16. So it does go through all the particulars.
And like, we're following the state rules. These are all state regulations. You have to be a licensed driver. Your UTV or golf cart has to have a license plate, and you can get that from the county tax assessor. You have to have a slow-moving vehicle placard on the back of it. Have to have, for the UTVs, you have to have front and rear lights. You have to have mirrors, and that's it. That's the only.
Turn signals?
You don't need turn signals, because if y'all still remember the hand and arm signals, you can use those. So,
Does this, like 35 mile an hour?
and that's a state law as well. You cannot be on roads over 35 miles per hour. Now, there are, like I said, exceptions to that if you're farm and agriculture, and a few others. Police could use one, municipalities could use them.
The city's speed limit on city public roads are 25 anyway, in our city limits.
Yeah, the only time they should be on the road is if they're crossing.
Correct.
So they're not going to be going down highway?
No. So,
They shouldn't, I wouldn't.
so
I mean, that's patrol for you guys.
this ordinance allows it to be pretty cut and dry. So if your 12-year-old is driving a golf cart down the street and the police bring him home because he's not supposed to be doing it, that's why, because the state of Texas lays it out pretty clear. You have a question? Sure. You can come to the mic. I agree, and that's why this ordinance lays it out pretty clear. So when those kids are taken home to their parents, and there's a penalty, let me read it real quick.
What is the,
An offense under this article is a Class C misdemeanor punishable as prescribed by Section 1.01009 of this code. It shall be unlawful for any person to operate a unique vehicle on public roadway in violation of the provisions of this article. I believe it's a fine up to $500. So
Per violation.
per violation. So there's teeth in this. And like I said, this kind of balances this out. I don't want them getting called every 5 minutes because I'm driving my Ranger around. Full disclosure, I got the police called on me twice the Friday of the parade because I was setting up for the parade. I was driving my Ranger around. Cops pulled me over twice. I'm legal. I have everything I'm supposed to have. So, and I don't hot rod around. So this will eliminate those kind of calls. Yes. Sure. Can you come up here, please?
car, and I live in Dove Meadows, and with Amy's response, we have those drivers all the time, but mostly on the weekends and after hours, and the police are not in the subdivision at those times.
Get in the subdivisions at those times.
We almost need a whole new.
I did not know that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Like I said, this is going to answer all those questions that everybody has. And trust me, I've seen it all on Facebook. I like to keep tabs on the town that way. I've heard everything from you can register it in a different state and you're fine here. No, you're not. Different state. There's no such thing as street legal in Texas for those kind of vehicles. There is permitted use for off-highway vehicles. So there's a difference. So there's confusion all about this. This will alleviate a lot of that misconceptions. And with that comes enforcement. So, anybody else have anything? Any questions? We haven't had an ordinance. We've been going off of the states. Yeah. So. Sure.
In calling the police on these kids, enforcement can be taken, but keep in mind that theoretically, it's a jailable offense. We don't want to put kids in jail for driving golf carts, stuff like that. So we do want the calls, we do want the safety. So we would like to do more education than fines, if that makes sense to everybody. So theoretically, just about everything except for speeding in the traffic code is jailable.
I know leading up to this, part of the reason of creating an ordinance is part of the education piece, bringing people aware of it. And so I think it's worked.
Yeah. Anyone else? All right. Do we have a motion?
Are we making an exception? You
Yeah, you
mentioned
would
earlier?
have to.
What exception
Well,
was that
it's up-
again?
My recommendation is just using, allowing golf carts, NEVs, ROVs, and UTVs.
I think in the front of the ordinance, it's basically saying, it's defining all those as
Correct.
unique vehicle.
Correct.
Right.
They all fall under the definition of unique vehicle.
So you're making a recommendation to take some of those definitions. Which ones were you?
Well, to exclude ATV and sandrail, which they fall under off-highway vehicle.
Off-highway vehicles.
Yes.
So I make a motion, we pass, what agenda item are we on? 2.6?
2.6.
2.6, ordinance number 283-072826, with the recommendation that the mayor has made of removing off-highway vehicles and sandrails.
No, off-highway vehicles includes ROVs, UTVs, sandrails, and ATVs. So it would just be removing ATV and sandrails.
So just removing the ATV and sandrail portion of this document.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion by Andis, second by Betty. All those in favor? And that passes. Judge shut up yet. 2.7, discuss and consider water and wastewater rate analysis 2026 update. Ordinance number 234072826, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Bertram, Texas, amending the Code of Ordinance by amending Appendix A, Article A7.000, utility rates and charges by amending water and sewer base rates, and rates charged with increased water usage, providing the repeal of a conflicting fee in the Code of Ordinance and providing an effective date. Gary?
Don't have much presentation on this. Prepared a memo and the rate study. This is just our annual update. We do it every year during budget cycle. We take your previous year, fiscal year audit and update the numbers to what you did last year, and then work with Georgina and Adam on budget projections for the coming fiscal year. That's what's in the rate design. Probably the three most important pages of the rate design is starting on page 8. There's a comparison to local adjacent utilities. So we use Liberty Hill, Burnett, and Marble Falls. So you can see how the existing rate compares and how the future or proposed rate compares. And then the last two pages, pages 11 and 12, those are the documents that show all of the different tier rates. So base rate and then the consumption per 1,000 gallons for the different tiers or different use classes. So residential in town, residential out of town, commercial, and those different classes. So with that, I'll take any questions, obviously, but this is basically the same document that you would see every year. We just update the numbers based on the fiscal year audit and then projections for budget. The biggest update or biggest proposed rate increase is on the sewer side of the utility. A few things play into that. You've been increasing the rate over time. There are some concern, or you have bond covenants through Water Development Board. You borrowed money for water and sewer. Georgina can speak to correspondence from them on saying that your rates don't cover the debt service to their standard in the bond covenant, so you need to increase on that. Second is you'll have several months of the next fiscal year with the new plant expansion online, so we included chemical cost, electrical cost, maintenance, operation, all those things in that, because right now you're using the lagoon, but the contractor will be complete with the plant expansion, so you'll have some expense coming into your budget for those operations.
And that number right now, I think, is really concerning to staff when we're working through the budget, because we just don't know what that's going to cost yet, because we haven't had to operate a packing plant at this point. But I did get a call from the Water Development Board requesting our rates and our standard rate of increases for the next 5 years. I provided the letter that Gary had sent us for last fiscal year, in which the letter did include that the projection for 2027 was going to be at or about the same, which is what was included into this rate study.
I have a few questions. Thank you, Gary. I've read through this several times. There's a lot of numbers.
There is.
In this report. So if I'm reading this right, essentially you have looked at our current rates, our current usage, infrastructure, projecting out a couple years, and you're saying that this number pretty much is kind of keeping up with the status quo, not necessarily making us more profit.
Exactly. It's not to build your reserves or anything else. It's to meet your bond covenants. And actually, your financial advisor recommends, so Water Development Board requires 1.1, so 10% over what your actual cost is. Your financial advisor recommends 1.25 coverage. We can't get there. The rates, I mean, you probably will at some point in the future as the city grows and you're able to increase rates, but it's just too far of a jump. Right now, we're projecting an 8% on your normal, our average user of 6,000 gallons. It's $2 a month on water and $8 a month on sewer. But yeah, it's not to build a reserve fund. It's to meet your bond covenants.
That's what I was reading.
The hardest thing about water is it's not a money-making deal. It's not a utility that makes money.
Well, and it's very dependent. It's been a wet year, so revenue's down. We haven't really looked at that as far as, we don't have your fiscal year audit, but that's not unique to the city of Bertram. All of my clients are having that conversation of saying, we budgeted for this, but it's been raining, luckily, but that affects revenue through the summer months.
Gary, what did you call that new plant that's coming on board?
It's a package plant.
Package plant?
Yes.
Just so everyone knows, we have an amazing comprehensive plan that you can find on the city website. And I know, Gary, you're part of that committee that helped put that together. Adam, who's not here, he gave me a tour of the facilities, and I was quite impressed. The comprehensive plan has all the infrastructure laid out for dealing with the water and the wastewater. There's a whole lot of planning that's been going on for many years.
Sure.
Yeah, so thank you for that.
Sure.
Why he gets paid the big bucks.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of that comprehensive plan, obviously, it's a roadmap for the future, but it's not things that you want to do. Basically, it's things that you have to do on the utility side anyway. Obviously, on land use and all those things that drive future development. Those are things that you want to drive to the right location in your city. But on water and sewer, you have to meet TCEQ standards, and you're just obligated to that.
And unfortunately, things are just costing that much more. We see it at home as well as in the public
Our new
sector.
tower just started yesterday.
Yes, they started staking, they were out there
Can
Friday.
you give
so,
everybody the cost of that thing again?
I have to look in my phone, but
just
it's
a guesstimate.
around $4 million.
About $4 million for that one water tower.
Yep.
Everything costs money.
Yeah, and the water transmission, the transmission main from Burnett Wellfield is
7.8.
7.8.
Yep. Well, thank you. That comprehensive plan is amazing, and I was real happy about the tour I got with the utility department.
Good.
A lot of good things are happening.
Any other questions?
I've got a question. That's the reason I was late, because I was doing math. So it says base rate.
I noticed your shoes were off.
So it says base rate 35.50, and then 0 to 2,000 gallons is 4.50. 2,001 gallons to 5,000 is 5.50. 5,001 to 10,000 gallons is 6.25. And when you add all those up, it's at $51.75. And then it's saying back over here,
It's per thousand,
Yeah, per thousand
per
gallons.
thousand. So you have to go 0 to 2,000, it's
That's two times.
two
whatever that
times
rate.
that rate, plus the base rate. So there's more math, you get more toes.
okay, all right.
Yeah, that's why it's not adding up, because it's per 1,000 gallons.
Okay, so you're going to do, so it's basically $9 for 2,000 gallons.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the per 1,000 gallon rate, correct.
We-
And that changes per meter size. You don't have that many large meters in the city, but if somebody has a 3/4 or 1-inch meter, there's a rate structure for that as well.
And we did
With the
a
base rate.
study, was it a couple of years ago when I did the water usage. So your average citizen in Bertram, this is 2 years ago when I did this, used about 2,500 gallons a month. Wasn't a lot. But then we had regular citizens in a regular house using 14,000 gallons. So you go from 2,500 to 14,000 gallons. That's why there's a difference in the
Yeah.
So you'll see, Councilmember Wilson, in your packet at the beginning of for the first meeting of the month, you'll see in the utility department, there's a systems totals report in there. It'll break down the users and how many different account holders have used between the 0 to 2,000, how many use the 2,000 to 5,000, and vice, all the way down the list there. So you can see how many different accounts, and then how many non-billable accounts that we have, which are the city accounts, which I believe there's like 26, 28 accounts.
Okay.
Any other questions? We would need a motion for 2.7.
I'll make a motion to accept 2.7 ordinance 234072826 to accept the base rates amendment charges.
I'll second.
A motion by Anthony, second by Randall. All those in favor? And that passes everyone, unanimous. Yeah. All right, 2.8. Discuss and consider ordinance 213072826, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Bertram, Texas, amending the Code of Ordinances by amending Chapter 13, Article 13.03, Division 4, 13.3.03.184, containers required, use of containers, blocking container, establishing penalty for leaving containers in public right-of-way, providing for a penalty, providing for a publication, providing for the repeal of any conflicting provisions in the Code of Ordinances, and providing an effective date.
So during future agenda items during the last council meeting, Councilmember Predmore, you asked what could be done about placing trash receptacles in the public right-of-way and from people utilizing those for blocking public right-of-way parking spaces. Trash containers are found in the utility ordinance. That's why this ordinance is before you, as well as the ordinance for blocking a public right-of-way. That's the next agenda item. So we had to have two different agenda items for that reason, because you can only amend an ordinance with another ordinance, i.e. that ordinance and then the following one for blocking of the public right of way, with anything other than a trash receptacle, obviously.
So just to clarify, this is for trash cans being left in the right of way, correct?
Yes, this one.
Yes.
Yes, Mayor, this one. It's for that. The next ordinance is going to be for anything other than a trash receptacle, like cones or whatever. I think that's what was stated at the last meeting,
That's not utility.
because that's not utility, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so does it need explanation or? Yeah. So basically, I requested that this be on there because as you know, in Dove Meadow, we are limited to one side of the street for parking because of an ordinance that was previously created. And we have some residents in our neighborhood that are strategically placing their trash cans just so that no one can park, and leaving them there the entire week and not moving them. So they're limiting we're limited on parking, and then it's being limited even further because of the placement of trash receptacles that are staying in the street 7 days a week.
So what is your suggestion to amend the ordinance?
Well, I mean, of course, we have to put our trash cans out there to be picked up. That's not a problem, but they need to be put away after trash day is trash day.
We talking 24 hours?
Yeah, that's what I believe
Yeah.
that's what the ordinance is stating,
Yeah.
that they have to be
That's what
moved
it
in
says.
within 24 hours.
You can have it the day of and the day after, is how it reads.
Yeah.
I think it might even be better to put some times in there. It says other than the day. Why don't we put the evening of? Because that can still leave it open interpretation of putting it out there at 7 o'clock in the morning the day before and blocking. So if we can, thinking about putting the evening of, the evening before, the day the trash is picked up and taken away no later than the evening after. Something along those lines. Put some sort of time in there.
Specific time, maybe.
Yes. That way it's not open to anyone's interpretation of what a day is.
Obviously, it's going to really boil down to enforcement, so.
Okay, well, if we have something here and it keeps happening over and over, then, I mean, I realize it's a little tough, but it'd be the same with the vehicles. You know, a little bit of common sense and courtesy by people.
I mean, again, another thing for education, compliance and education rather than enforcement, hopefully.
Hopefully.
For clarity, is this a code enforcement situation or is this a
Well,
police department?
Police department ultimately can write tickets, but code enforcement certainly can as well. So it's going to either or.
Then I want to look at number 2. It shall be unlawful to allow a container to,
One at a time. What are you talking about? Oh, the ordinance itself.
yeah, on the ordinance. Allow a container to remain in the public right-of-way on any day other than the evening before the scheduled trash pickup, as set forth in 1 above, or on a day of trash pickup, and to be taken off the street no later than the following evening.
You know, the evenings can get, 9 o'clock or 5 o'clock, depending on the time of year. Yeah. I mean, you may want to.
I mean, obviously, if the trash can's there on Thursday morning, then they're in violation of this ordinance, by what you just said. Councilman
Everyone's
Perkins.
trash runs on Wednesdays,
Trash pickup on a residential unit is on Wednesdays,
whole city.
unless Clausen has a hiccup on their schedule, which happens from time to time, but we can work through those as needed, obviously.
Okay.
My name is Amy. I live in Dove Meadow.
Bring that down.
It's on your forehead.
Hi, my name is Amy. I live in Dove Meadow. I think we should just get rid of the parking thing, because that's stupid, and there's not enough police officers to enforce it. So I don't think it's smart to add something else that would need to be enforced for it to even work if we're not even enforcing what we have already, because we can't.
I think a lot of these ordinances are self-enforced. I mean, you lived there from the beginning, correct? Mm-hmm. You remember what it was like when people were parked on both sides of the street?
But people still do that, and
But
it's not enforced.
It's not as bad as it was.
That's true.
I mean, you honestly, if you drive through, I drive through there every day. When I go through there, it is so much. When I used to drive through there, I was nervous as heck because kids darting from both sides of the street. Cars are on both sides of the streets. Now that they're only on one side, it's a lot safer. And I have noticed there every once in a while there's a car parked where they're not supposed to. I've noticed that also. So it is an enforcement thing. But I think when you self-enforce, the rules are made for people
Follow the rules,
well,
and I do.
we have to have rules for people that don't have common sense or stuff. I mean, let's be honest. I think these are silly to even have. But as far as getting rid of parking, I think most people that live there want the parking on the street. We just can't have it on both sides because of the side of the street, or the size of the street.
I mean, I see the people that have their trash cans out. They don't bring their trash cans up
A week.
at all. But I don't think anyone's gonna. I don't think they're able to. And
I'm just saying, you may have to enforce it one time, one time, and that's all it takes. So,
Or even a warning one time, so to let them know. And if they keep doing it after being educated over and over, then you have to bring the hammer.
the $500 fine for a trash can is pretty silly. And if you're willing to risk that, I guess.
I'm not willing to risk it.
Exactly.
I'm not. I mean,
Exactly.
I
Neither
put
am
my
I.
trash cans out in the evening and I pick them up in
Right.
the morning.
As it should be. Common sense, right?
Yeah.
And no one told you
Most
you had to
people
do that.
do, but
Yeah.
for the ones that don't, we have to do
I
this.
said,
Yeah.
that's why we have rules.
This is not just for Dove Meadows, it's going to be
Correct. This is
citywide.
for the
Yeah,
city.
It'll be for the
It's just
city. It's
Dove
just, I
Meadows
brought it
tends
up
to
because
have
of
the most.
Yeah.
Meadow.
Okay, well,
Thank
I
you.
tried.
All right, so let's.
Georgina, you were saying about the times that I mentioned, just to make it Thursday then?
No,
Because
I don't have an opinion either way. I'm just stating that it would be Thursday morning. That's when Ted or the police department could technically start the education and compliance part of this ordinance.
All right, it could be worded, I mean, help me out here. It can't be put out before, any earlier than Tuesday evening and picked up by Thursday morning, 10 o'clock, if we want to get, 9 o'clock, if we want to get specific on it.
They'll say, what are you gonna do about somebody who works in that shift?
I don't know, that's why I'm asking for input. Help.
I don't know. My neighbors bring mine in all the time. And
well,
I bring theirs in
Yeah,
when they're not
I have a
around.
neighbor like that as well. But
I would,
What time's the trash getting picked up?
morning, I would just say,
it changes.
yeah.
All right, come on, guys.
Let's come
I
up with-
think you could do like Tuesday from like 12:01 a.m. to Thursday at 11:59. That gives you all day, the day before to get it out. Gives you all the next day to, it gives them 3 days.
That's half the week of nobody being able to park there.
Yeah, but it's defined.
I would say put it out on Tuesday evening and put it away by Wednesday evening. And does there have to be a time definition on that? Like you say, a Thursday morning, if it's still there, then it's in violation.
Just go 24 hours from the time trash is picked up.
Yeah.
I mean, how would you handle that, Chief? That's what.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tuesday, 6 PM to Wednesday, 6 PM.
Okay.
How's that?
I need a motion.
I make a motion that we amend, is it an amendment or no? Okay, just add the ordinance for the trash to be put out no earlier than 6 PM Tuesday and moved off the right-of-way no later than 6 PM Wednesday.
All right, we have a motion by Anthony.
Second.
We have a second by Betty.
Oh, Wednesday and Thursday, right? Trash is Wednesday, right? 6 PM Wednesday to 6 PM Thursday.
No.
Picked
'cause
up by
It
5.
gets picked up in the morning on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right.
So it needs to be out Tuesday evening, like we put ours out. Amy, you put yours out Tuesday evening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Tuesday evening, 6 PM to
To Wednesday.
Wednesday. You did it
So
right.
that was the motion.
Yeah, okay.
That was the motion.
All right. Just making sure.
So we had a motion by Anthony, a second by Betty. All those in favor? That passes. All right, y'all took that long on that one. 2.9.
This one will be a breeze.
272072826. Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Bertram amending the Code of Ordinance by amending Chapter 12, Article 12.04, Public Right-of-Way, amending 12.04004 to prohibit leaving items in the public right-of-way, renumbering the offense and penalty provision to 12.04010, providing for a penalty, providing for a publication, providing for the repeal of any conflicting provisions in the Code of Ordinance, and providing an effective date. So this is for everything other than trash cans.
Same thing.
Same thing, yeah, except I don't think there needs to be a time on this because it's not a trash pickup. So,
You're correct.
Agreed.
yeah. So I just make a motion, we approve ordinance 272072826.
I'll second.
A motion by Betty, second by Anthony. All those in favor? That passes. Is this the judge? No, never mind.
Not here yet. He texted saying that he was still in executive session with the city of Burnett.
All right, 2.10. Discuss and consider water tap application request from Will Rollo, San Gabriel Ranch LLC for property located at 2609 County Road 322 for 200 LUEs.
So Mayor, I recommend that we table this action item. The engineering comments were not received prior to the posting of this agenda. I left it in there as a placeholder so I wouldn't forget it, and I meant to take it off before the agenda was signed.
We need a motion to table.
Motion we table?
We have a motion by Betty, a second by Tracy. We'll let him get this one. We'll table 2.10. Oh, all those in favor, sorry. Got ahead of myself. 2.11, discuss and consider Bertram Masonic Lodge request to put up a little free library in town.
I make a motion, we table this also until someone from the lodge is here to present.
Second.
What
exactly do they want?
They want to,
Throw this out there.
okay, the Masonic Lodge here wants to become much more involved in the town, in the town and help out and do whatever they can. And they want to put up one of those little free libraries somewhere in town. They talked to me about putting one somewhere out here in front of City Hall or police station so nothing happens to it. They're not, don't want to put one in Wheeler Park, but we have the library right there anyway. And as was discovered, we have two down on Bond Street as it is. So.
School,
Two.
Two at the school.
There's one
Okay.
at Panther Park as well that the
And one
Friends
at
of the
the
Library
Baptist
put in.
Church or the
Yeah.
community center.
Okay, so they're
We
every-
have them.
and they don't know that. There's a new
Just talk.
head honcho over there, so we'll just table that. I'll talk to him, let him know what's going on, and maybe they can come up with some other ideas.
So Mayor, you had a motion to table until they were further able to present.
We had a motion by Anthony. Second by Randall. All those in favor to table? All those in favor to table? Everybody. Discuss and consider proposed budget workshop date and time. All right, so I understand a couple of you be out of town next week.
Correct.
You, are y'all going together?
No, we're not.
Okay. We have to have this budget workshop. And we are kind of, we've got some time to do it, but I was trying to get it done before the next meeting. However, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So August 11th is our next council meeting at 12. If we can do it after the council meeting.
I think Councilmember Predmore voiced her opinion to me that she needs it before the next regular council meeting. So if we could possibly meet at 10 or 11.
Will court be done by then?
Oh, that's right.
I think by 11 it would.
By 11, I don't know what's on the docket. I couldn't promise you that we can start a meeting later, we just can't start it sooner.
Correct.
What's the date, the drop dead date of passing a budget for that October 1st fiscal year?
We're gonna adopt the tax rate and the budget during the last meeting in September. That's what I had it on the schedule for. It just has to be filed with the city secretary and approved and published
Yeah.
30 days prior to a public hearing for the adoption of the ordinance. And I was hoping to give the citizens two opportunities, two public hearings to address city council on any proposed budgetary items prior to the meeting of council, prior to the adoption. Obviously, that's not a requirement. I was just hoping to have that opportunity for citizens to voice any concerns that they may have regarding the proposed budget. Just 30 days filing with the city secretary prior to the public hearings is the only requirement at this point, but we can still meet that timeline and have two public hearings. They just won't have an extra week to look at the budget prior to that first public hearing.
And I'm flexible. I've already got the departments turn in their budgets to me. I've already gone through.
Evals.
We've got the evals. We balanced so far.
Yeah, I proposed, I got some numbers down we were waiting on tax rates from Burnett CAD with the no new revenue rate and the voter approval rate and the de minimis tax rates based on actuals and unencumbered funds balances. I was able to get those back, and I worked on it this afternoon, and we've got a couple of balanced budgets now. So we can meet on those numbers once John's had an opportunity to actually see what changes that I did present to him today. But we had it down to almost 93,000 was where we were off, but we were able to balance
We
it out.
started, we were 559,000 over budget.
Yeah,
We got it down.
yeah. And 3
A lot of crying, a lot of crying.
Yeah.
People didn't get what they wanted. but-
In the utility, it was 4.4 million that we were,
So
Short.
now we're just waiting on you guys. When-
Do we want to meet after the city council meeting?
That's what I would
Like at
suggest.
3 PM,
You-
just to give us a little
I
time?
can't.
No? Okay.
Sorry. I could meet before. Could we set it for 11? And then if something happened and there was still court, we could
table it, we could table to,
go after, and then I would just have to.
Well, we wouldn't be able to table it. Yeah, we'd have to do it 3 days.
no, we can move it. Once the
you can
meeting's
meet
called,
later.
we can meet
Okay.
later. We can start it later. We just can't start it sooner.
Okay.
So let's do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, I make a motion, we set the date of August 11th at 11 o'clock for our proposed budget workshop.
I'll second.
Got a motion by Betty, a second by Anthony. All those in favor? Passes. All right, community input. Y'all gave more community input today than I think I've seen in a long time. I appreciate that.
Thank you for coming and thank you for participating.
I think that's important. All right, future agenda items.
Go back up to the judge.
Judge,
I
we're
want
gonna
to
have
speak to you all on the judge's appointment and the necessary need to appoint a judge
right.
moving forward. Item 2.5.
Discuss and consider ordinance number 17072826, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Bertram, Texas, acknowledging the appointment of Habib H. Erkin Jr. as municipal judge, setting compensation, providing severability clause, and providing an effective date.
I was hoping Mr. Urquhart would be here today so that you guys can meet him. I was able to meet him on Friday. Came in on my day off. I had taken off on Friday, but I came in and met with him on Friday. Pleasant man. He is a licensed attorney. He's currently the city attorney for City of Burnett, and he is the associate municipal judge for the city of Coppers Cove. His availability and he lives in Delaware Springs. I was able to get that information from him. He does live in Delaware Springs, so he lives in Burnett. His availability is limited on Tuesdays, which is our normal court date. However, I called the prosecutor that hears all of the City of Burnett's cases, which is with Guevara Law, our city attorney's office, and they were able to move the date to Thursdays, the second Thursday of every month, moving forward, still at 9 o'clock. So it's working out. And I do recommend that we appoint Judge Urquhart, because he is currently a judge, to our municipal court of record appointment for judge for the city of Bertram. The reason why is our current judge resigned. We obviously hold court on Tuesdays. He will work out to come in and start working the August meeting. And I can get him sworn in and all that good stuff and have him meet y'all during the August 11th meeting if necessary. But he is a city attorney for Burnett, so that's why he wasn't able to be here at this meeting, because they meet at 5, and he's in closed session right now with them. No.
Georgina, the fees that you showed us, are those current and they in line with?
They're a little bit more, but he does charge an hourly rate. And our courts generally last anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours, so they would be in line with what we currently pay. It's not a flat rate of $700. Our current judge is a flat rate, whether he's here an hour or 4 hours. He was charging us $350. So I think we're going to be okay with the amount of time that he's going to have to spend on our court cases.
Thank you.
I think you've given us a lot of, I like his references and a lot of information for us to go off of without meeting him. If you've met, I saw you meeting with him.
Yes.
In there.
Yes.
Yeah, I stopped by. I think that knowing that you met him and recommend him, I'm comfortable.
Is he the only applicant?
Yeah, unfortunately, we had it posted twice. I had some other inquiries, but they just didn't submit because we are only meet once a month. It is limited. The hours are very limited. It just wasn't worth anybody's time to come and meet for once a month. But he has other appointments. He has, City of Coppers Cove, City of Burnett, and this would just be extra for him. But he said it works with his schedule and his family to do this for the City of Bertram as well.
I make a motion that we approve ordinance number 17072826, and would like to add that we would give Mayor Valadez authorization for signing the agreement.
I'll second that.
We need an effective date.
Well, it would be effective August, correct? That's when we need him?
He's on his way.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He just texted and he's on his way, but from Burnett, so.
We're not waiting.
Yeah. I will wait for him, and let him know that he was
I'll wait
appointed.
too, but we're not.
It would be effective as of
August.
tonight,
Yeah.
after the signing of the agreement, obviously, and then the mayor can swear him in at any time.
We got a motion by Betty,
Yeah, second.
second by Anthony. All those in favor? We have a new judge. Good job. All right, future agenda items. Nothing?
I make a motion, we adjourn?
Motion by Anthony, second by Randall. All those in favor? All right, this meeting's adjourned. Yeah.